Welcome to the Aspiring Geneticist. Today's a bit of a different video, one where I will be animating a Nature article covering the hottest technological topic in biological research today, AI. In 2010, Ewan Ashley, a geneticist and cardiologist at Stanford University in California, led the first clinical analysis of a human genome, which took his team of 31 scientists 9 months to complete. This week, while unpacking after a holiday, Ashley asks the AI tool Claude, developed by Anthropic in San Francisco, California, to examine his own genome to the same standard. The analysis took 30 minutes and correctly identified an Alzheimer's disease risk allele and gene variants affecting drug metabolism. Ashley had analyzed his genome in 2012 but did not publish the results. He later said, "There is no world in which this is not utterly remarkable." On 30th June, Anthropic unveiled a platform called Claude Science, designed with biology research firmly in mind. The tool joins a department's worth of general-purpose AI tools for science created by technology firms and academic laboratories. Others include offerings from OpenAI, co-scientists from Google DeepMind. Another is an open source tool called Biomni, developed by academic researchers and many others. What are these? And sometimes called AI scientists, these tools are based on the large language models that power chatbots, helping scientists with tasks such as literature reviews, data analysis, figure generation, and manuscript preparation. They are a form of agentic AI in which requests are broken down into steps that often involve recruiting external software systems. How should scientists decide which tools to use? Many scientists already use AI tools such as Claude to generate presentation slides and draft emails, but Ashu Singhal, president and co-founder of the cloud platform Benchling in San Francisco, estimates that less than 20% of labs have fully embedded AI scientists into their research. Singhal recommends that researchers trial several tools to work out which ones are suitable for which tasks. Hypothesis-generating AIs such as co-scientists might help during the earliest stages of a project. Later on, tools such as Claude Science and Biomni could carry out specific tasks such as genomic data analysis. Corso recommends that researchers start with small tasks, the output of which can be verified easily. The worst case being, you have to do them over. How can researchers trust these AI scientists? This week's science paper showed that Biomni performed as well as experts on certain tasks, including rare disease diagnosis and cell sequencing data analysis, often in a fraction of the time. But it didn't do as well at some other tasks that required deep biological thinking, the researchers say. These science AIs don't always need to be right for them to be useful. But one of their most important features, researchers say, is explaining how they arrived at a particular output, be it a hypothesis or the results of an analysis. Are there any downsides to using an AI scientist? Bryant encourages her trainees to use tools such as co-scientists to help form research ideas, but she hopes that she can teach them when to push back on AI use. "I have the experience to know when something's not true," says Bryant. "The biggest question I have is, how do I train students?" Thank you guys for watching. Hit like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.